Hey, what's up, Exit the Matrix family? Bob here. Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for joining me on this morning talk. I wanted to talk about why are we here? Why are we here? What I mean is, why are we incarnated on Earth? Why are we here? So many people do not ever question this. Maybe when they're kids, kids usually are a little more inquisitive and imaginative, and I should say a lot more than adults typically. And but adults, it's like as you go through life, you get so used to being a human being and just going through the rhythms of your own personal life that a lot of people they lose that wonder, they lose that inquiry, and they just go into automation, and just basically survive, And not a lot of people, wonder why we're here. Now, the people that do question, why are we here? Well, religion swoops in and gives them some kind of an answer, or at least their version of an answer. And I think a lot of people feel comfortable with that because they've got books that back that up, and they got pastors or ministers or what have you. I'm not just talking about Christianity here, just any religion, right? Gurus and all these different types of characters, rabbis and stuff. And they're like, well, this religion has some to offer them. They have a book you can read, and then this religious teacher can explain to you all these secrets of life. But I think a lot of people find what they get from religion is lacking. So what religion does is it uses two different tactics typically to try to keep people loyal once they join a new faith. And it's not every time, folks. It's not always. Obviously, practices like Buddhism and stuff are a little different than your Abrahamic faiths, But essentially, there's a double-edged sword that they bring against people to bring them to the truth, to keep them, faithful, to the belief system. And one of them is fear. Fear is very powerful, very powerful. You get people scared that they're going to go to hell, right? Yeah. Oh, you've sinned. You didn't ask forgiveness from the right deity, the right, character. And because of that, well, you're going to go to hell. But if you continue to go to church, look, we're not even asking you to actually research the Bible and to actually study it. We're just telling you to come to church, every Sunday, maybe Wednesdays and Sundays, and listen to Pastor Dan. And as long as you tithe a little bit of money and stuff, and then you know what? And you ask, Jesus for forgiveness, you're saved. Everybody else burns in hell in the lake of fire with gnashing of teeth forever. Gnashing of teeth, holy crap, man. Okay, Pastor Dan, I'll be here every Sunday, I swear. Don't send me to the gnashing of teeth place. And then, the other one is what you would call a love bomb. A love bomb is another powerful tool that religions use. And typically, they use the sheep herd mentality of the other parishioners or the other attendees of that church or that synagogue, of that whatever, that's where you're new to the place and you're just checking it out. all of a sudden everybody's coming up to you, being super friendly, super nice. Like, they really care about you, you know. And then all of a sudden you're getting little postcards in your mail. Thank you for attending our church. We really enjoyed you and your family. You're so lovely. We hope to see you again. And then if you don't show up again, then it gets a little crazier. Some of these churches out here in the South where I'm at, you show up to a church and then you don't come back. All of a sudden, they're sending people to your house. Oh, hey, so I'm so-and-so from the church. I was just stopping by, and I remember where you said you lived, and I noticed your car. Oh, we're just coming by to see if you're planning on coming to church this weekend. You know, and it's like this cult following. I mean, it's not like this in every church, obviously. Some churches, folks, are so big they can't, keep track of everybody that comes in and out. But a lot of these little churches, they're struggling. Pastor Dan's in a little church. He's struggling to pay for his Lexus payments and stuff. So he's, got to get as many people in that church as he can. It's a financial problem there. But, it's really similar to the tactics that, MLMs and stuff use on people too, same type of tactics, love bombs and then scaring you about your future and this and that, just maybe slightly different, but similar tactics, but different, maybe, context, And I think a lot of people, some people just accept it for what it is and they just want to believe that they're being told the truth. But there's a lot of people that go to these religious places and they still feel empty inside. They're still questioning. They still feel like, hey, this just doesn't seem quite right. It's like there's some truth here, but it doesn't seem right. Like, I'm being told that the creator of all, the source of all creation, of the whole universe, essentially we're living in that God's mind, in its creation, in the mind of God, the all, right? I mean, if you could think that big, I mean, that's essentially at least how I see the source, or how I conceptualize, God. And you're being told that this God's sitting on a throne in heaven, and he's a humanoid. He looks like a man. Because, right, remember, they teach you in Sunday school that, God created man in his image. Right? So you're picturing this God sitting on a throne with the book of life and angels bowing down around him and blowing on trumpets, and he's judging, when you die, you walk up and says, well, here, Billy, looks like, you did not confess to my son before you died. So, sorry, Billy, here. Go ahead, guys, pull that trap door. His ass is going to hell, where the devil's going to be, dealing with you there with gnashing of teeth forever. And the funniest thing is that right from the very beginning of your Bible, they're not even teaching you the truth. It's Elohim, not El. El is singular God. Elohim is the gods. The gods, folks. Plural, the gods. Boy, it's kind of like the cuneiform, the Anuna, the pantheon of gods, right? Well, that's because the ones who wrote the Bible thousands and thousands of years after the cuneiform was etched into stone and into clay tablets, they took those stories and they turned those Anuna into a singular God. That's what they did, folks. So you've been lied to from the very beginning about the most basic idea of God. So you're picturing God as this dude that looks like a human with a big old white beard sitting on a throne, and that's even how it's explained in the Bible in some parts, in some verses. And then the funniest thing is, it's like, well, okay here, son, well, if you do go to heaven, it's going to be fantastic. Instead of gnashing of teeth, guess what you get to do for eternity? You get to be on your knees, bowing down to this God for eternity, saying, holy, 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 forever. singing and praying and on your knees the whole time to get this God. I mean, folks, if that doesn't sound like an old style ruler like king, I mean, come on, man. I mean, like a narcissistic king that needs all his, that needs to be constantly his ego filled with worship and adulation. Sounds like a king of old, right? And if they don't do that, you got to take them out to the gallows. Take them down to the dungeon. To hell, right? Take them down to the dungeon. Well, they don't believe in my power and my might and my rule, and they don't want to worship me 24/7, send his ass down to hell, down to the dungeon. Yeah, that'll serve him right. I mean, folks, think about this, man. Do you really think the creator of all the universes, the multiverses, the dimensions, that he's this freaking petty, or it's this petty? Give me a break, man. You guys actually believe this? Think critically about this. The reason why so many people in organized religion have a hole in themselves, they feel it. They feel that there's something not right. It's almost like in the Matrix, right? You feel, Neo, right, that there's something not right. That's how it is. It's because you've been lied to. You've been filled a fairy tale to scare you so that you will be obedient to the masters of this realm. See, it's not about being a slave to the next realm. It's about being a slave to the masters of this realm. That's what it's all about, folks. See, fear is the greatest tool used to make spirits compliant, incarnated in human form. And look, folks, I want to make one thing absolutely clear. I am not down speaking on Yeshua, our brother, the master teacher, the master mystic. No, I am not speaking bad on Yeshua. His teachings were absolute truth. But see, folks, he didn't write the Bible. Okay? He didn't write the Bible. In fact, most of your New Testament is the worship of the words of a certain Paul that never even met Yeshua. Okay? Most of those teachings that you read, that your pastor reads off every Galatians and all these other books of the New Testament, those aren't even Yeshua's words. Those are the words of Paul. Those are the words of scribes that worked, disciples of the original 12 disciples. Because, folks, most of the New Testament was written over 100 years after Yeshua left this plane of existence. So you're not even getting real first-hand knowledge. You're getting second and third-hand knowledge. And then, of course, it's all the pot and all that stirred by Constantine, who was not even religious. He was just using Christianity as a way to bring his empire under further rule, under more control. I mean, he thought this was a fantastic religion because it used fear to control the masses. And he realized he could utilize that. Who do you think put in there, give unto Caesar's what is Caesar's? Come on, man. You think Yeshua really had anything to do with the tax system? He hated the money changers. He hated the synagogues. He hated the Pharisees and the Sadducees for what they were doing, for the liars they were, they would get people to believe that if they sacrificed an animal every year, that they would be saved. The Jews, the Judeans, right? So what did he do? Or so what did they do? They would charge, exorbitant amounts for, a goat or a sheep or doves or whatever to be sacrificed in their temples for your sins. I mean, folks, God, please, for the love of the Creator of all, do you really think God needs blood sacrifice? I mean, I get so tired of this every time. No, you don't understand. Yeshua was the last sacrifice. He was against sacrifice. Well, damn sure he was. I mean, everybody's teaching that his father sacrificed him, a blood sacrifice, like an animal, like they tried to do to Abraham. I mean, come on, man. You really think the creator of all needs blood sacrifice to do anything? This is ridiculous, folks. It's such a joke, man. Once again, why are we here? Why are we here? Well, folks, if you did some research on NDEs and OBEs, because even people that have OBEs, they still meet up with entities on the other side. And I know from the Christians, they're demons. I get it. But no, it's called your higher self. You have spirit guides. And folks, this realm is a construct. This is a small part of creation and altogether. Very small. There's such a bigger world outside of this world. You don't even understand. Outside of this dimension. I mean, you're in the Matrix and you think that the Matrix is totality. It's not. So, they all say on the other side, even the ones that have spoken to Yeshua, because Yeshua is present on the other side. Because, folks, on the other side, we're all brothers and sisters. And it's so funny because Yeshua's got a fantastic humor. He's a sense of humor. People that actually meet Yeshua on the other side and they ask about religion and all that, he always laughs. He's always like, that was not my work. That was not me. He's like, what they did was not what I did. That's not what I wanted. Because, it was all manipulated, folks. He was in a scene. He studied in the mystery schools. See, those of you that are Christians and that I would explain to you about the Hermetic laws, you would say that that's demonic teachings from the Watchers or the fallen angels or something. But did you know that Yeshua was studying the mystery school teachings, the Emerald Tablets, the Hermetic teachings that came down from Thoth? Did you understand that Yeshua and his family and his consort Mary Magdalene were all priests and priestesses of the Essenes, and that they traveled to Egypt to study in the mystery schools, to learn the Hermetic teachings, to learn the ancient wisdom that was passed down from Egypt? Do you know that? Did you know that Yeshua traveled the Silk Road with his rich uncle that was a merchant, and he studied and learned in ashrams and temples, Buddhist and Hindu and Zoroastrian temples all throughout the Silk Road? See, Yeshua was a world traveler, folks. Where do you think he went during the lost years? Now, if this was this character, you say you have to accept him as the God, or else you go to hell. Why would he be studying and teaching in these other religious temples throughout the world? I mean, for reals. And how many know that he even traveled possibly as far up north as Ireland? At the very least, he got teaching from the Druids. Now, there were still Druids in France back in those days. The Gaelics, right? Before they pushed up into the British Isles. So even in as far as southern Europe, southern France, you had the Druids. And the Mediterranean, the Silk Road, folks, where all the trading were done. That was where most of humanity met and traded ideas, traded religions, traded goods. It was in the Mediterranean and along the Silk Road. That's what connected the world. And it's so funny because when you listen to when people talk to Yeshua on the other side, and I will not call him that name. I hardly ever call him by that name, that caricature that was created by the Roman power structure, okay? Because it's disrespectful. Yet people Jesus, 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 praise Jesus. Hail Zeus. That's what Jesus means, folks. They Constantine balled up Christianity with pagan religions and pagan beliefs. Okay? You got Zoroastrian mixed in there. You got even Platonism, philosophy mixed in there in the New Testament. But on the other side, Yeshua, he knows that his teaching, he came to earth to try to level up humanity, to teach people about love and forgiveness. And, his teachings were tried and true. The golden rule, right? And he was trying to enlighten people, just like Buddha in different ways enlightened humanity. And he was never asked to be worshipped as a god. He even said, don't you know ye are gods? Ye are gods. Don't you know that the temple of God is within you? The temple, think about that. He was trying to tell us, folks, that we are all part of God, okay? We are all, remember he said, you can do what you can cast out demons, you can heal others, you can even move mountains. Folks, and you guys deified this guy. And yes, he is a deity, as we all are, folks. And I know this is super sacrilegious to religious people to even mention this, but it's the truth. And I'll stand strong and stand firm in this truth, that we are all gods. We are immortal spirits, folks, fractals of the all, of the source. And we choose to come to earth to have a human experience. We've been here many times, folks. Okay? That's the truth. That's why we are here. It's to experience. It's to learn. The fastest way for a spirit to learn is to be in a world of duality. See, when you're back home, folks, there is no hate. There's no need. There's no sorrow. There's no pain. And this is every single person that has an NDE talks about this. Now, wait, I know, wait. The Christians like to jump in here about NDEs right away and say, well, I've listened to NDEs that talk about going to hell. Yes, you know why? Because they were programmed to believe in hell. That's why, folks. And this is even admitted on the other side. Some people cross over and they do go into a hellscape. That is similar to Dante's Inferno and all this. And most of these people are hardcore Catholics or Baptists or something. That they truly believe that, they made mistakes and they didn't repent right and they're going to go to hell. And so they have to experience hell, folks. Because see, you got to understand, we are manifestors, folks. We are co-creators with Source. And when you're on the other side, guess what? Your manifestation powers are infinite. So when you cross over in that 3-day period of purification before you go and you're allowed into the actual home that we come from, into the so-called the gates of heaven, right? You go through a 3-day purification process. And this is explained by the resurrection. It's explained by Inanna's descent into the underworld. This is the same allegory, because people that were teaching this back then, they had near-death experiences and they were taught all this. And they tried to bring it back and teach people, and they turned it into a religion, folks, okay? It got twisted. But look, these people experience hell. It's because they manifested hell. They thought so badly they were going to go to hell. They went to hell. But what happens is when they're in that instance, all these people, this is the part that Christians always leave out, right? All they got to do is say, Yeshua, come get me, or Michael, or because they're usually going to call in a religious character from the Bible, right? Or just say, I don't want to be here no more. And boom, they're out. Their spirit guides got their hand. They take them up through the gates. Okay? Or Yeshua will come and take them. Or Michael or Gabriel. Because those are real characters. Okay? I want you guys to understand that. Gabriel, Michael, all these archangels, they are real characters. See, these were characters people met when they had near-death experiences. And they came back. They're kind of like the administrators of that realm. They're more ascended spirits. They've been on earth. They've gone through all these, through the refinement of life and death cycles on earth many times. And So their consciousness is at a higher level, their spirit's at a higher level. Because that's what this is, folks. It's a classroom to teach spirits, okay? To grow spirits, to enlighten spirits. You need a world like this, folks. If all you did was just chill in heaven all the time where it's fantastic, you'd have access to information in heaven. You have the grand cathedrals and the grand libraries on the other side, the Akashic records, whatever you want to call it. You have the knowledge of the universe at your fingertips. And there's many worlds you can go visit. It's amazing. I'm telling you, folks, there's like, they have like museums on the other side that you can go to any time period in human history and you can watch. It's like crazy. Like they have like literally replicas of castles and stuff on. I know this sounds fantastic. I know. This is what people say on the other side. And in fact, all the technologies we have here, like TV screens, and they have even more they have holographic stuff on the other side. They've got, crazy technology, okay? See, all we bring back to Earth and we try to manifest those technologies here. I've been really, thinking a lot about what that world is, really. And I'm starting to think that we are actually like some type of colonizers of planets. Like we're helping the Creator create his universe he creates these worlds, and then once they're ready for life to begin, for conscious life, like not just, animals, that mostly work on programming and, and insects and birds and all that. Now, trust me, all things have a part of the spark of creation in them, of the source, okay? But what I'm saying is that there's different levels of consciousness. But once you start getting to the point where you can have humanoids start inhabiting that planet, we show up. We fashion bodies. And then we allow spirits to come inhabit those bodies. And we start building those planets and building those civilizations. See, folks, you want to know the great secret of it all? I've actually started to come to realize that we are the Elohim. We are the Elohim. But the problem is that this realm was created with such a diversity of dualism that I believe that some of our brothers and sisters that helped fashion this realm, the ones from the beginning, the Anuna, the Elohim, the powerful ones, the shining ones that came directly from heaven to earth, Anunnaki, right? Heaven to earth, they came. That they fashioned this realm, and because this realm was so seductive because of its polarity, it's so different from heaven. We'll just call it heaven, okay, where we come from. That they got lost in the game here. They got lost in the school, in the sandbox. They started to enjoy the freedom and the duality here so much that they wanted to become gods of this realm, and they stepped out of their line of what they're supposed to do. And the Watchers. Think about the Watchers. They were like the ones watching this realm and helping build this realm and helping teach humanity. That's what it talks about with the Anuna. The Nuna and the Watchers in the Book of Enoch and in the cuneiform. It talks about how those gods, Elohim, folks, not Elohim, the gods, how they taught these technologies to humankind. In fact, they even provided humankind animals that were meant to be domesticated animals and protected and used by mankind. And crops. They taught them how to raise crops and such. This is all, folks, it's all in the cuneiform. You can go search up cuneiform after cuneiform, and you'll find that many of these stories are about how like Enki taught them how to use the plow, and all these other Anuna came and taught humankind, how to build things, how to, fashion things. If you read the Book of Enoch, folks, it's essentially like a Reader's Digest version of many of the cuneiform stories. And of course, the Bible's a later on adaptation of all these stories mixed in with other religions and such. So, look, folks, I know you guys think I just bash on Christians 24/7. Folks, it's not that I'm trying to bash on Christians. Look, Christians are some of the greatest people we have in this world. Most of your Christians are very good people. They are they do care about people. A lot of them do charity work. A lot of them work in their communities. They try to make people's lives better. They're against, dismissing babies. They don't want crime. They don't commit crimes. I mean, yes, everybody does stupid shit. Everybody, you know, has a time where they drink too much and they did something stupid, or they get in a fight with somebody, or they, look at prawn, or they do this or that. Look, everybody does something like wrong in this realm, right? Because it's the duality strong in this realm, folks. You're in a battle between your higher self, that's your spirit, and your lower self, which is the beast, the body, the animal part of us, right? Because the body is like an animal. It thrives on animal instinct, and so your body's you are even a dual type of dualism. You've got that's what the angel and the devil is on the shoulders. It's your higher self and your lower self. They're battling with each other. Every day of your life, you have a struggle between those two sides. Are you going to do good or are you going to do bad, right? And everybody thinks, oh, that's my guardian angel, and that's, the devil. No, folks, it's you. It's you. And guess who judges you when you go on the other side? Guess. Is it that man sitting on a throne with a beard with the book of life, and everybody saying, holy, 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 bowed down, around his throne with trumpets blaring? Nope, folks. Guess what? You face yourself. When you have your life review, you face yourself. You go and you watch how you treated people. You see your interactions when you lived on earth, all the way from when you were a little, like a toddler up. And you get to experience it from their point of view, from the people you hurt or you help, you love or you hate. You experience it on both ends so that you get the totality to learn the full experience of what you went through here on earth. But there's no judgment, folks, that you're going to hell or not, okay? If I can leave you with anything, even those of you that are Christian, please understand. There is no judgment except for you judging yourself. God is not judging you. He wants you to come here, experiences. He wants you to go through the struggles. Like I've always said, folks, this is the hero's journey. Don't you get it? The Epic of Gilgamesh is always about us. It wasn't about some big giant, and or Uruk, I mean, it was, but it was an allegory, folks. Why do you think Enkidu was his companion? Think about this. Enkidu, the man beast, right? Almost like a Sasquatch type dude. It's talking about that dualism. That was his partner. That was his, See, Gilgamesh was battling within himself, folks, between his humanity and his beast side, I mean, it's really a big allegory. I mean, the Epic of Gilgamesh, the hero's journey, is us. It's about us. Just like Inanna's descent into the underworld. A lot of allegories in that story too, but they were trying to teach us, folks, okay? And they knew. See, the ancients had a better grasp on the afterlife than we do now, because we have religion that programs people so heavily and we're so far away from that designing of this realm of the Elohim coming down and fashioning humankind in their image. Come, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, right? Not God, not the creator of all, not the source. The source is all. He's not a humanoid. Come on, man. Really? You still falling for that? So, Yeshua was always telling the truth. He said he's the Son of Man and he's the Son of God. Now, people took that as meaning the Son of God, that he was the only begotten Son of God. Folks, what do you think you are? I mean, if you're a creation of God, doesn't that mean you're a son or daughter of God? I mean, come on, man. How stupid. Come on. Think. But he was telling the truth. He was the Son of Man because he was born into this realm, right? Through the female portal into this realm. He portaled in. Think about it. And through the birth canal, just like us. So he was the Son of Man, but he's also the Son of God because he understood, look, I come from that heavenly realm. And that's why, why he was so big on loving your neighbors, loving even your enemies? because he understood, folks, that in that realm, we are all brothers and sisters. We all love each other. We are all one. We understand on that side that we are all connected. It's this world that separates and divides us because we forget about that. See, I've always been a follower of Yeshua. I'm just not a follower of this Jesus Christ character in his church. Okay? Hate me all you want or love me for what I'm telling you. I just want to get you to think, okay? So, anyways, guys, like I said, look, Christians are great people. And that's why I care so much. And that's why I'm not trying to destroy people's faith. I'm trying to enrich their faith, trying to get them to look deeper, go deeper, go deeper, or go higher, if you get my meaning. That's what I'm trying to do, folks, okay? Not limit, but empower your thinking. You got to do the rest. I can only, give you ideas and thoughts, and then you have to decide yourself. But I'm telling you, all these talks I always have with you guys, and for those of you that are Christian, that actually will follow through and listen to one of my talks completely. And what I'm saying, is it resonating with you? Or is it like, are you getting like, you think I'm a demon? Or do you think that, I'd like to hear, because I'm trust me, look, I was there, man. I was the hardest core, like, Bible studier you could imagine, man. I went deep, front to back to front. I thought it was absolute truth. I believed in the chosen race. I believed that, in hell and all this, and that, wow. So far I've come since then. But, research will do that to you, and you start connecting the dots and you start going deeper and deeper. But I've actually come to a place in my life where I'm comfortable now with the understanding, the basic understanding of what this realm is, why we're here, where we go. And it takes a lot of the fear away from living. When you realize, like, wow, what am I afraid of? I've been to Earth many times. I've been here in Egypt. I've been here in Sumer. Hey, I may have been in Atlantis. I was here in the Middle Ages. I was a serf. And you've been through all these hard times on Earth, and you've been through all these experiences. Hell, I might have been in the Mongolian, horde. Imagine our experiences. You actually get, when you go to the other side, folks, one cool thing I want to mention before I go here, you actually get to go see your past lives. You can bring up literal recordings of your whole past lives. So you'll know exactly what you did in other lives. It's really cool. Now, in this realm, sometimes people are able to recall those past lives and access the Akashic records through meditation or through, different means. Sometimes you can be, what do you call that? Not hypnotized, but, I guess kind of hypnotized. Not hypnotized, but that hypnotherapist where they do that, where they put you under, but you're in like kind of a semi-conscious state, and you can access those higher levels of the, consciousness, memories. And sometimes people find out about some of their past lives that way. But on the other side, you can watch it like it's a movie. It's crazy. It's crazy. Everything's recorded here, folks. Another example of that this is a simulation. Everything on the other side that happens here, it's recorded on the other side like a movie. Like a documentary. It's crazy. Anyways, I'd like to keep going, folks. I love talking about this kind of stuff. But I do got to get rolling. It's a Saturday here, and things have been kind of rough at work, as I know I mentioned. It has been. The last few months have really sucked. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys. I'd love to hear your feedback, see what your thoughts are, or your experiences and stuff too. So, and remember, I'm still doing the personal Zooms. We can chat about anything you want. Your donation for my time. So hit me up if you're interested in that. I love you guys. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you later.